My name's Raisa and I'm a full-time crocheter, and for week 4 of Spooky Patterns I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet your very own Frankenstein stress ball. It's really easy, it's a pattern written by me and I'm very excited to share it with you. And for the beginners, I've challenged you a little bit with a bubble stitch. I explain exactly how to do it, so don't worry. So let me show you how to make it. You will need some grey, some green, black and some purple, a stitch marker, a 4.5mm hook, a needle and some stuffing, and some 10mm eyes. We'll be starting off with the black, and we're going to start off with a magic ring with 6 single crochets in it. If you can't do a magic ring, you can do any other variation that is equivalent to a magic ring. It doesn't make a difference. So I do my magic rings with my thumb and my ring finger. I make a cross and I hold it with my pinky like this, and I get my hook and put it through the middle, and I pick up that piece that is on the left. I pull it through until where, if I turn it this way, it makes an A shape. Turn my hand upside down, and this piece on the left, you just want to pull it through the loop that was on your hook. As I said, you can use the chain method, you can use any other method to do this magic ring. It's perfectly fine. So you always chain 1 if you're doing single crochets, and this counts as your first stitch. And we're going to do 5 single crochets into this magic ring because this counts as the first single crochet. So you're going to insert your hook through the middle. You're going to pull up a loop. So you've got 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through both of those loops. So that's 1 single crochet, and you're going to repeat that 4 more times. So through the middle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And there you have 6 single crochets in this magic ring. You can untangle that little piece that's hanging out and just pull it nice and tight, and that will close up your magic ring. So we're going to find our first stitch. I know it's not the easiest to see with this black yarn, but it's going to be right there in this gap here. It should be really easy to get your hook into, it should be quite loose. And we're going to do an increase, which is just 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So we're going to pull up a loop like we just did, yarn over, and then pull through 2. So that is 1 single crochet in round 2. We're going to join our stitch marker on so we remember which one is the first stitch. And as I said, we're going to do an increase. So you're going to go back into that same hole that you inserted the hook for the previous single crochet, and you're going to do another single crochet in that same stitch. So you've now done an increase, and that turns 1 stitch into 2 stitches. So we're going to do an increase in each stitch around, so that's 6 increases. So this is the second increase, third, fourth, 5th and 6th. So for round 3 we're going to do a single crochet and then an increase all the way around. So into the next stitch we do a regular single crochet, so pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, join our stitch marker on, and then we're going to increase in the next stitch, so 2 single crochets in that next stitch. So 1 and 2, single crochet, and then an increase again, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, and increase. You should have 18 stitches if you want to count. There should be 18 stitches in this round. Then we're going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase. So we're going to do a single crochet. This is the first stitch, so put your stitch marker in. We do our second one in the next stitch, and then an increase in the third stitch. So 1 and 2, and then we repeat that sequence again. So single crochet, and then single crochet, and then an increase. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, and our final set, 1, 2, and increase. if you want to check if you've got the right amount of stitches, there should be 24 stitches in this round. On to the next round, we're going to do 3 single crochets and then an increase. So we're going to insert our hook, do a regular single crochet and join our stitch marker on that first stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then we increase in the 4th stitch. So 1 and 2. So 1, 2, 3, and then increase in the 4th stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then increase. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3, increase, and our final 1, 2, 3, and increase. So to check if you've got the right amount of stitches, there should be 30 stitches in this round. In the next round, we're just going to do a single crochet in each stitch. So just a regular single crochet, join our stitch marker back on that first one, and just a single crochet in each stitch around. So I'm going to speed this up for you. So I'm sure you get the gist of it now, and we are going to do this till the end of this round, and we're going to repeat the same thing for the next round as well. So 2 rounds of single crochets. So here's how it should look after you've completed 2 rounds of single crochets, and there should be 30 stitches in each of those. Next, we're going to change colour to green, and we're going to start on the main piece of the head. So we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, so you've got 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to get our green yarn, put it over your hook, and pull it through both of those loops. And you should now have the new colour on your hook. Then you just have to pull that black piece nice and tight to make sure the green's locked in. And we can fasten off that black yarn now. So that was our first stitch. And I'm going to put the stitch marker on that first stitch. And again, we're going to single crochet in each stitch around, and we're going to do this for the next 3 rounds. Here's how it should look after you've completed your 3 rounds of single crochets with the green. Now we're going to continue. So we're going to do 8 single crochets. So here's 1, join on our stitch marker on that first stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then on the 9th stitch, we're going to change the colour to grey. So we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, get the grey colour, place it over our hook, and pull it through both of those loops, and then pull that green piece nice and tight, and you should have the grey now on your hook. I was about to say green, the grey on your hook, and that was your 9th stitch. Then in the 10th stitch, we're going to do a bobble stitch. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to yarn over your hook and then insert it into the next stitch. Pull up a loop, so you should have 3 loops on your hook, and yarn over and then pull through 2 loops only, and then you should have 2 loops on your hook. And you're going to repeat this 4 more times. So yarn over, insert into that same stitch, pull up a loop, so there should be 4 loops on your hook now, yarn over and pull through 2. So that's the second one. I'm going to repeat this again, pull through 2. That's the third one. Pull through 2, 4th one, and our final one here, pull through 2. and you should have 6 loops on your hook at this point. Then we're going to pick up that green piece of yarn and we're going to actually change the color back to green. So we're just going to put it over our hook and pull through all 6 of those loops. So you should have the green on your hook now, and you're just going to pull that grey nice and tight, and that is a bobble stitch in the 10th stitch. And then we're going to do 10 single crochets. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. In the 11th stitch we're going to change color to grey again, so we're going to pull up a loop with the green. You can fasten off this grey yarn on this side and join it back on right here to change the color. So you should have the new color on your hook now. And then in the next stitch we're going to do a bobble stitch, so what we just did before. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And again we're going to do this 4 more times. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there should be 6 loops on my hook now, and there's 5 double crochets in the stitch. Then we get our green yarn and we're going to change back to the green by pulling the green through all 6 of those loops. Pull that grey nice and tight. You should have the green on your hook now, and then we're just going to single crochet all the way to the end. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. You can also fasten off this grey, so just cut that piece off, and here you can see the little side pieces of the head. Then for the next 2 rounds we're just going to do single crochets once again. Put our stitch marker in that first stitch and just a single crochet in each stitch around for the next 2 rounds. So here's how it should look after you've completed those 2 rounds of single crochets. Again, they should have 30 stitches in each round, and we're going to move on. So in the next round, again, just a round of single crochets, but we're changing color to purple first. So we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, put our purple yarn over the hook and pull it through the 2 loops to complete the single crochet. Pull the green piece nice and tight. We can also fasten off the green piece. And we're going to put our stitch marker in that first stitch. Then, as I said, we're just going to single crochet all the way around. Then in the next round we're going to do 3 single crochets and then the decrease. Decrease is turning 2 stitches into 1, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. So in that first stitch, single crochet, add our stitch marker, and then 2 more single crochets, and then here's how we do a decrease. This is called an invisible decrease. So when we're doing a single crochet, we're going through both of those loops. For an invisible decrease, you only want to go through the front loop. So right there, as you can see, I've gone through the middle. This is the front loop and this is the back loop, so we're just going through that front loop. You want to pull up a loop through that front loop, find the next stitch and do the same thing. Find the front loop, insert your hook and pull up a loop. So you should now have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those. And what that does, turns 2 stitches into 1. So again, we're going to do 3 single crochets and then a decrease. So 1, 2 and 3. And then again, find those front loops. So pull up a loop in that front loop. In the next stitch, pull up a loop in the front loop, yarn over and pull through 3. And we're just going to repeat this all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, decrease, 1, 2, 3, and decrease. 1, 2, 3, decrease. And our final 1, 2, 3, and decrease. So what we're doing is closing off the bottom now. In the next round, we're going to do 2 single crochets and then a decrease. So that's our first one, and our stitch marker. So that was 1, 2, decrease, 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 final 1, 2, and our last decrease. So now I want you to remove the hook. We're going to turn it back the correct way. I'm going to insert the eyes now. So with the eyes, we're going to put them between rounds 10 and 11. So to find round 10 and 11, we're just going to count all the way down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So between these 2 rounds here, so just above where we did our bubble stitch, I'm going to insert one of the eyes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in the 5th one, put the second eye. And then if you're happy with that, we're just going to join on those backs. Make sure it's nice and tight. And we've got the eyes in there. Then insert your hook back in. Then in the next round, we're going to do a single crochet and then a decrease. So single crochet, join a stitch marker on. And remember, in those front loops only for these decreases. Single crochet, decrease in those front loops. Single crochet, decrease. Single crochet, decrease. Single crochet, decrease. Single crochet, and a final decrease. So here's how it should look. So now we're going to get our stuffing. Here you should now have the shape for your little stress ball. We're going to remove that stitch marker, insert our hook back in again, and for the next round we're just going to do 6 decreases to close off the bottom. So in those front loops, remember, then join your stitch marker on. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in that last one, this is 6. So then we cut this piece off. If you can, slowly pull this through. Remove your stitch marker. And now we're going to get our needle. And in the front loops only of those decreases, so you can see front loop and the one all the way at the back, that's the back loop. So in those front loops, we're just going to go through all 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to slowly pull that middle piece closed. Try not to snap the yarn. And then I like to do a knot, so I go through the whole piece and do a little knot there, and then you can go back in and pull out through a random stitch. And here you have your very own little Frankenstein stress ball.